What's up, everyone? Kind of an impromptu live stream today. Hope everyone's doing good this evening. A little earlier than usual, you guys. I'm just down in the garage, just kind of messing around. Raul, what's going on, man? Jose, what's going on? 922, what's up? Got some jig heads and stuff. I don't usually buy them like this, but I only needed a few and didn't need a whole lot, just a few 16th ounce, and yeah, that's it. Jimmy Henry, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Sorry if there's any noise, you guys. They're doing some construction work and stuff like that around here, so y'all just bear with me. Hayden, thanks for being here. Yesterday evening, we caught about 50 in Lake Fork. Nice. I would love to be able to get out that way a little more often, but just can't quite get away right now. I'll explain more on that later. Slabbuster, hey, I didn't know you was going to do it live. Hey, Slab, man, I wasn't. Just kind of decided to last minute. Just out here in the garage, just messing around. Trying to get some fresh air. Hey, I always get this mixed up. Gary, I think, right? Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. EX8, what's going on? What do you do? Put makeup on? No, I don't put makeup on. Let's see. Andy Chase. I do payroll. EX8. Do I look younger, man? I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything. Barfly, there he is. What's up, man? Oh, appreciate it, Andy. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing good, man. Yeah, I got a haircut. I cut my own hair, but I definitely did that. Let me go over here. I'm gonna switch this light on and see if it gets a little better lighting. Y'all bear with me. All right, is that a little better? There we go. It's a little better. Slabbuster, man, it was beautiful today. Light wind, yeah, I was at work. Supposed to have storms tomorrow. Yeah, man, we got storms rolling in right now on us. This work's been really, really difficult for me the last couple of days, and just need some, time to regroup. So I just came down here, just looking at the storms coming in, and yeah, just gonna do some tackle stuff, get some stuff organized for when I can go back out, and yeah, and I figured I'd go live. Why not? Today's my usual day, but I just really haven't had much to talk about. Indiana Chris, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well too, man. Edo, raining in North Texas, loving it. Yep, I see there's some rain going around up by Louisville. There's some rain. Raul, tell us how to fish with the bobber. Man, that's a good question. Let me get some poles real quick. Yeah, the rod got tangled up. Y'all bear with me, but let's see. So, Raul, you mean just like how to fish with it, or how to rig one, or what? Yeah, there's a bunch of different types of bobbers I use too, Raul. This is my bobber box right here. Just some random ones. These are my favorite probably. These are probably my favorite. These are good for these are good for shallow water, like 3 or 4 foot or less. I'd say this is more for like 5 to 10 foot slip bobber. This is good too. These are like kind of in between the two. I don't really like these, to be honest. And these right here are good for just, you know, just casting around. They're light. They're not weighted. I don't like weighted bobbers myself. How to fishing? Okay, yeah, man. So when you're fishing that jig and bobber, Raul. Eduardo Benitez, thanks for being here from Tyler, Texas. Awesome. Yeah, so when you're fishing that jig and bobber, Raul, just what I do is I just kind of pitch it out there, and I'll just twitch the rod tip, like just twitch it, let it sit, twitch it, let it sit, and it depends on how the bite is. Like if they're biting pretty good. Hey Earl, thanks for being here, man. Yeah, so if I'm doing that, I'm just pitching around and all that, and so just twitch, let it sit, and I let it sit a little longer, a little less sometimes. It just kind of depends. Just really depends. But let those fish, Raul, tell you what they want. Some days they want it sped up, some days they want it paused longer. It just really depends. Got a car going by, y'all bear with me. Doing a lot of construction around here lately. So I don't know if y'all saw that last couple sand bass videos, but this right here is what was doing the damage right there. It's just money. This is on a Camo Joe jig head. Y'all be sure to check him out. Camo's Custom Hand Ties. Great guy, makes great jigs, jig heads. Always a great supporter of the channel. So y'all be sure to check him out if y'all need. I'm not sure if he sells these jig heads like this or if he only sells hand ties, but he'll definitely let you know. He's a great guy. See, I got my Maverick stuff on. Let's go Mavs. Slab, they still ain't spawning here. They're moving that way though, buddy. Mine had 56 yesterday and not one had eggs. Man. Slab, yeah, so it's been a weird year here too. It's just now getting good. This usually happens like mid-March. But I mean, we had snow in March, and it was just a really cold March, so it's just a little delayed more than it usually is. And but it's finally there. There are sand bass in every single creek you go to. There's hybrids in some that are connected to lakes that have hybrids. The crappie are spawning in the creeks. There's some spawning on main lake. You just got to really put some time in looking, and that's been my issue this year with those crappie. I'll be honest, guys, I just have not had that much time. At least the time that I need to go out there and actively find these fish spawning, I just have not had the time. And again, I'll elaborate on that later, but I really hope to get out there a little bit more. You know, every time I get out, the wind's blowing 20 plus, it's post front, things like that, so just automatically things are just stacked against me, but I'm trying. The sand bass bite's great. Speaking of that, if y'all could, you know, I don't know if y'all are interested, but if y'all could definitely, you know, help push that sand bass video out, if it, you know, those two actually, just push them out for me, you know, like it, just kind of engage with it. They just don't do that good on the channel. But if you watched, you know, I say that I'm not gonna fish for YouTube, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do what I do, what I enjoy doing, and right now I enjoy fishing for those sandies and hybrids in the creek. I mean, it's just fun. Light tackle, you know, 4-pound line. It's just a blast. And so I'm gonna I got another month or so, and I'm gonna start running guide trips again. So if y'all are interested in that, just shoot me an email or shoot me a message, and I'll get all that down and get you on the books and get all that figured out. But here in the next month, I'm gonna start running guide trips like every week and being in the boat every week, you know, come post spawn, and so I'm trying to focus more on the creek stuff and bank stuff, and I know I'm gonna be in the boat a lot you know, after this month all summer long. So I'm trying to enjoy the creek stuff and push a lot of those videos out for you guys. So if you can really help push those out, I'd appreciate that. EX8 Bass Pro foam peg bobber is the best. You can easily switch to a slip to a regular bobber, and it's cheap. Nice, man. I'm gonna have to look into those. Yeah. Some days I switch back and forth depending on how deep it is and stuff. Indiana Chris, when the bite is hot, do you find they hit a jig on the fall? They do, Chris. So they will hit jigs on the fall, even when the bite's not hot. It's just a reaction bite for those fish. They see that lure falling down and they just can't help it. It's just instinct and they grab it. So a lot of times, especially like dock shooting and stuff like that, those fish will hit on the fall a lot. And you'll just see your line just like this is the line, you'll just see it do this or something like that. That's it. And those fish have it. 922 weighted bobbers don't lay down. Missed a ton of fish till I figured that out. Yep, and that's why I don't use those weighted bobbers 922. A lot of times those fish will come up with that cork, and it'll just do this. It'll just fall straight over, and that's a bite. They got eggs and fork right now. Hey, nice, Hayden. Yeah, that's that's good. We got a while. Like I said, the spawn's just now getting going. Excuse me. I don't think a lot of these fish have really spawned yet. I think a lot of them are just getting there, and here in the next month or so they're going to spawn. We're going to have fish spawning well into May this year. June, sorry. Definitely well into May, and we'll have fish spawning into June this year. No doubt in my mind. Just because it got such a late start. Albert, hi, Saw. Thanks for being here. I'm doing good. How about you? Raul Mendez, how much longer do you think fish will be in the creeks? Man, Raul, I honestly think we have another month or so. And it depends on the rain. If we don't get rain, it might push it back a little bit. These sandies really, 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 really want rain right now. And there just has not been a lot of it. So we get a couple big rains, especially a lot of the creeks I fish have not got rain. And when they do, it's going to be a big push of fish, and they'll spawn during that. But there will be fish all the way up to the 1st of May in the creeks, somewhere or another. Slab, yeah, here too, going to be late spawn. Looks like spawn all the way at the start of summer. They did that a few years ago. Yep, Slab, that's exactly right. When they get late start, they will spawn well into May and June. I've caught fish spawning in June, first, second week of June, a lot of times, and it sounds crazy, but I've done it. Like big dark males coming out in the first, second week of June. It's just it's crazy. I couldn't understand it when I found it, but it makes sense now. Andy, you think any good crappie are under the bridges or most in the creeks? Andy, there are definitely some on the bridges. There are definitely some on the bridges. Right now, those bridges are good, especially if that bridge is close to like a creek arm or, like a spawning area. If there's a spawning area close to those, whether it's rocks or like a little cove, they're going to be on that bridge staged up, waiting to push in. And then when they're done, they're pushed out to that too. So bridges are definitely pretty good. Driver 817. Hey, thanks for being here. New to fishing here. Lots of people say they don't keep white bass. Why is that? I caught a total of 9 in 2 trips. Like I said, I'm new and I ate them and they really enjoyed them. Why not keep them? Driver, it's all personal preference. You said you're new here. Have you caught and tasted crappie yet? Crappie are just, no prep involved, just fillet, bread, and fry. Just great. No fishy taste. I feel like those sandies have a little bit of a fishy taste sometimes. Compared to crappie, to me, there's no comparison. I think crappie are just the best freshwater eating fish around here. Catfish are right there with them. I hear walleye are good. They're just not around here for me to try, but that's, I just prefer crappie. Crappie for me are just so much better. I'd like to get you up here on fork while they're spawning. Man, Hayden, I would love to do that. There's still some fish on bridges. They're also getting shallow main lake. Yep, Thump Chump's right. IFS Fishing, thanks for being here. Underspin's been killing it in South Texas. Yep, underspins are good too. Indiana Chris has a negative bite when they swim up with it. Yep, they go opposite. They don't pull it under. Water temps in the 60s. Awesome. I see we're gonna have some cooler weather. We got a couple days in the 40s. I think one day is like 41 or at night. Hugo, thanks for being here, buddy. Yeah, man, this is definitely, I'm right there with you, man. This is one of the latest spawns that I can remember. There's been some late spawns, no doubt, but I mean, even lakes out in East Texas are just now firing, and here it is, April. And those fish, you know, honestly, are usually pretty done by now. Those fish are usually halfway, 3/4, if not fully done out there come April in those East Texas lakes, but not this year. It's just been flat out too cold. Yeah, and the red meat is right, Andy. That red meat and that bloodline just isn't good. And that's another thing too. You know, crappie. There's no prep work. Like I said, you don't have to cut any piece of meat out. You just fillet it and bread it and fry it. I mean, it's just that simple. Driver, yeah, and it's totally personal preference. Sean, thanks for being here. City boy, we caught some good males today. Yep, those males are gonna be up for a while. You know, they're the longest. I see that a lot. Misconception of there's more males in a lake than there are females because they catch more males. But if you think about it, and this goes for sand bass and crappie too, those males are doing all the work. Those males are up scouting in those creeks looking for, you know, the right pools for the white bass. And the males for crappie, they make the beds, they fertilize the eggs, they protect the nest, guard the fry when they do it all. So obviously you're gonna catch more males just because they're there longer throughout the whole cycle. Those females come in, drop their eggs, and they take off. So if you catch a female up shallow, most likely she was dropping her eggs, like right then. So that's a big misconception I see a lot, and it's just totally not true. There's just as many males as there is females. Just so happens to be that, you know, where you're fishing in the spawn, those males are there longest. Slab, sound like the weather in Texas is the same in Alabama this year. We on the same pattern. Yeah, I've been watching, man. We're pretty similar. A lot of our weather's gone out that way, and you know, you got storms coming tomorrow. Ours is here tonight. It's just funny how it just goes right out that way. Thank you so much, Gary. I appreciate that. Yeah, if y'all can hit that thumbs up, I really appreciate it. YouTube likes that as well. Thump chump, got to get that red meat off, and they're not bad. Yep. That red meat's a big deal. Armando, a fishing problem. Hey, everyone, kid, happy to be able to catch your live. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. It's kind of a, you know, impromptu time, but I'm glad you made it. Slab, here the spawn is done second week of March, no later than end of March most years. Yeah, man, so it's really late over there, too. Really late, too. I made a comment. It was we're about 2 full weeks behind schedule where we were last year. So right now things are fishing like mid-March, mid to late March. You go, totally agree. I've always slayed the crappie year after year. On my birthday, end of February, this year's weather had those fish in places you wouldn't expect them to be, all scattered around. Yep. I said the same thing. Those crappie, the bite really heats up into February a lot of years, and March is really good for crappie spawning. Some people say that's not true. Obviously, April is more consistent, but if you know where to look and you have time and you're patient, you can catch a lot of spawning fish in March. And a lot of times those fish in March are bigger because they're just pulling in there. And so, yeah, March and February can be really good. Yeah, EX8. Just finished cleaning, maintaining my reels. Is there anything special that you do to reel to help cast further? EX8, man, no, excuse me. So I'm really bad about my reels. I try my best. I fish so many creeks and everything. I'm honestly pretty rough on reels. And so I got me 2 of these Shimano Saharas. These are by far my favorite reels. I got these two. I'm gonna be running guide trips all summer long with these. I got a couple of these. Yeah, those reels are great. As far as like maintenance, I don't do any of that. I really don't know how. I've tried it a couple times and I feel like I just mess it up. But I don't do anything. That 4-pound line, switching that 4-pound line, you'll cast all the way to the other side of the creek, like with ease. East Texas Dumpa, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. JC, no penny. Is it time for dock shooting? Yeah, yes and no. There's fish to be had on docks right now, but it's not what I would consider prime time yet. But there are fish to be caught on docks. East Texas, yeah, that's good for me on my work schedule. So I'm glad. That means I'll be off for some good fishing. Yep, there you go, man. There you go. It's gonna be hot by the time they're done spawning. Yep, and it'll happen quick too. It'll just be like overnight. Now, if this weather would get stable and stay that way for the crappie especially, if we can get nights 60 plus, days 70, 80 every single day, and I mean not going up or down at all, these fish will spawn like in 2 weeks and they'll be done. I've seen it in years when it just comes together real quick, like a flip of the switch, and everything's warm, it never gets cold again, and those fish spawn quick. But when those years that it's up and down, that's what makes it drag out longer. But if the weather's right, they'll spawn in a couple weeks and be done. Indiana Chris, I use an Shimano ultralight on a Conolun rod. Love it. Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those rods, but yeah, ultralight, I just love it. That's why, I use these B&Ms. Great quality rods. They don't break the bank. They're ultralight. I never have issues with them. And I mentioned it before, I like to keep it sporty. I really like to keep it sporty. Indiana Chris, so I'm a mono guy. I don't like braid. I hate everything about braid. So I use 4-pound Mr. Crappie high vis line or 6-pound. That's about all I use. High vis monofilament, just that way I can see bites and see my line and all that. That way I know I'm on the bottom or I'm up off the bottom, things like that. Let's see, I don't remember if I had my... I think I got my tackle box over here. Let me see real quick. And let's see. There you go, Indiana Chris. That's a good line right there. That's a good line for sure. So I wanted to mention again, Camo Joe, Camo's Custom Hand Ties. Great looking hand ties. Again, if you're in the market for that, I have a whole box of them. I use them every chance I get. Yeah, EX8 2-pound line's pretty good too. The clear line, Chris. Yep. I'm not sure if that water's real clear up there in Indiana, but down here, it doesn't make a difference as far as high vis those fish don't care at all down here. Slab kind of messes me up because May, which is post-spawn here, man, I slayed them most years. Looks like I'll be sweating catching this year. Yep. Yeah, it's going to get hot and they'll be biting. Funny how that is, man. Let's see. Got a bunch of junk right here. I'm just going to dump this out. I'm trying to get a little better organized. So I'm gonna kind of just throw stuff around. Yeah, I got these Bass Pro jig heads. Never gotten them before. I got these for dock shooting because these little clamps right here. When you're dock shooting, that jig hits that water and it'll pull it down a bunch, and you have to constantly pull it back up. But if I have this on there, it should hold it. Let me see. I'm gonna take one of these jigs right here, just like this. See if I can show why these jig heads are so good. It's a bad job putting it on there, but see, it's on there. If it hits the water, you see how that's not coming down at all? I mean, at all. And it'll hold that jig on there, as opposed to one that doesn't have that. Let me see. Yeah, so here's one with the collar, but it's not the same wire collar. This might hold pretty good still too, but yeah, it's gonna hold. But after a couple fish, it'll start sliding down for sure. Oh wow, we got a super chat, you guys. Lee, I think it says Lee. That's all it says. Thanks so much for that donation, man. It just goes right back into the channel. That helps me out a ton. Really appreciate that. If you got any questions, Lee, yeah, go ahead. I'll get to them. Whole crappie are just as good. Yep, Albert, that's right, man. Whole crappie are just as good. Yeah, I've used Stren before too, Chris. It's all right. It's all right. I definitely think what you're using is a little better. Mossy Palmer, hey kid, I fished with my kayak in the mouth of Rowlett Creek, caught 1 15-inch hybrid and 4 small sand bass in 3 hours. Any tips for catching hybrids and big sand bass in the creek? Mossy, yeah, man. So, not to be rude or anything, but I definitely leave that kayak at the house, and I would walk the banks upstream in those deep pools. And you know, I'll hear people a lot of times like using big swim baits and all that, and this and that for hybrids in the creeks, and they will bite all that. Don't get me wrong, but this right here is just hard to beat. I mean, it looks simple, but you'd be surprised. Those hybrids and stuff are really pressured in these creeks. Some more than others. And a little bitty fluke like that on a little jig head like that would produce some big fish. Definitely don't overlook that, Mossy. Thanks again, Lee. I really appreciate that, man. Thump Chump. I started trying some Stren Gold. Works fine, but unfortunately it's a tad weaker than most 6-pound monos. Yeah, man. So Thump Chump. So yeah, I mean, the Mr. Crappie High Viz is just, the strength on this line, I feel like is more than others for sure. This 4-pound line, and you see me, I'm flipping nice sandies up with no problem. And I really think this 4-pound line is more like 6, really. Slab man, I have to get me some of them jigs. I just use a dab of super glue. Yep, the super glue works too, man. It does. These were kind of just I was there and I needed just a few. I just need a few just to get through dock shooting season. I mean, this is all, I won't go through all these in a season. But that little hook, I don't know if it's gonna, that little hook right there though is just money. I appreciate it, Lee. Thanks so much. It really makes my day when I hear, you know, you really enjoy these videos. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into these videos, and it's good to see that you know, y'all are still enjoying these videos. Got some spammers in here today. Yep. That's Thump Chump's right too. So if you're gonna take the kayak, Mossy, just go ahead and go up. The problem with Rowlett Creek is there's a ton of people fishing it, and from what I've heard is they get pretty mad with kayakers in there, and you'll get hit in the head and this and that. So yeah, I'd kind of watch that. Yeah, Hayden, I saw that. It's really low. I think, Hayden, it's really helping that because those fish don't have that grass and all that stuff that they usually do to get in and spawn. So they're just kind of spawning out deeper, Hayden. So I think it's really helping concentrate those fish. Yeah, I saw that. I think they said they're going to let it fill back up now. East Texas, I've never done any dock shooting. I'm going to start this next time. Looking forward to trying it. Man, out there, especially where you're at, man, it's great. Now, it's not easy, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to, but once you get it down, it is an absolute blast. Indiana Chris, I like the fact that you get back to every comment in chat. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, you take the time to ask a question, I want to take the time to answer it. That's just me. I try my best to get to every single one. Comments on the videos, I try to as well. Those are kind of harder to keep up with now, but I do my best. And, you know, if you're patient, I will get to them eventually as well. And yeah, that's just, I try to be engaging as possible. View Mix, thanks for being here. Does it matter if you have a white swim bait and milky water clarity? Or should I dip the tail in yellow for sandies? That's a good question. Excuse me. It's more of, again, it's more of like a personal preference, honestly. I think white, like personally, in muddy or dirty water, white for me is hard to beat. That's why I bought these right here. Just white, solid white like this in muddy water. Anyway, I don't know how much muddy water we're gonna have this year, but this right here is just, you can't beat this white swim bait or white fluke in the muddy water. Yeah, Thump Chump's right. Especially there, I'd probably leave the kayak at home if you can. Slab, man, that dock shooting may be my favorite. Seeing that line jump and feeling that thump, nothing better. Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna get out there soon. If I can catch a wind day that's good on my day off, I'm gonna get out there and do it. I just gotta have the weather match my days off. Yeah, sometimes contrast can help. Yeah, and that's another thing too. So like I have these green jig heads right here, and a lot of people will match, like put this green curly tail on this green jig head. That's not, I don't like doing that. I like you said, contrast. And so I'll put pink on this. I'm not real big on specific colors, but I am a fan of just mixing up those contrasts, like white and orange, just mixing it up. And some of these, you know, with an orange head, or I don't like to match it. I feel like that different color, I feel like crappie are just attracted to color. And that sounds weird, but I feel like they're just attracted to different colors. As far as like 2 colors on a jig looks better than one. And that's how I think. So I'm probably totally wrong, but oh, no worries, Raul. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm where did I put those? Those flukes right here. Hayden, my phone's about to die. I love the videos. I'll let you know next week how the bite is. Thanks, Hayden. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. Just shoot me an email. I need to start leaving that email in the videos. I'm gonna do that better from now on. So, slab. Yep. Especially when they're biting good and that line will jump high sometimes. Oh yeah, they'll knock slack in it big time. So I'm gonna just kind of put all these jig heads and stuff in here, but that's really all I had to talk about, you guys. Nothing real, you know, special or crazy or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of touch base. I haven't done it in a while, and that's my bad. Just been busy and you know, stuff like that. So I'm trying my best to get up there and get stuff put out for y'all. Like I said, I'm going to be going hard in the creeks for another month or so, and then it's going to be guide time at Main Lake. So that's where I'm at. So we're just kind of trucking along in the year already. It's crazy, but almost time to guide again. It's just crazy how fast it kind of wreck around. The curly one is the Panfish Assassin. View Mix. It's Panfish Assassin. I don't remember what the exact name of the body is, but it's Panfish Assassin brand. I think it's 2-inch. What's it called? 2-inch profile, I believe is right. Hayden, I might use my mom or stepdad's email. Yeah, that works. That works. Indiana Chris, catch you later, kid, and all in chat. Take care and good luck with the fishing. Thanks, Chris, man. You have a great night. I appreciate you being here. Hayden, yeah, man, I'd love to do some collabs for sure. Paul catches them all. Thanks for being here. Man, that reminds me, Paul, I meant to tell you. I don't know what it is, man, but your notifications aren't working for me either. Because the video you put out, I did not even know it was out till just now. I don't know what's up. I don't know what the deal is with that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it. I don't know if it's just something with our connection or what, but yeah, mine isn't notifying me either of yours. I don't know why. But thanks for being here, Paul. Y'all be sure to go check him out. Paul catches them all. So here I support all those guys that support me. Paul catches them all. Great channel. Y'all be sure to go check him out. Barfly Fishing Texas. Great channel as well. I don't know if I've missed any. East Texas Stumpa has a channel as well. So yeah, I mean, that's me. Not everyone does that, but if you support me, I'll support you right back. That's really what it is. And yeah, so I'm gonna start wrapping things up, you guys. I wasn't planning on being on here too long. Like I said, the white bass from the creeks. I mean, basically any creek. Go to any creek and throw this right here. Let me see. This little curly tail right here in those creeks, and throw this in those creeks. Any creek, feeder creek with flow. Right now, you'll catch sand bass. It's really, really, really easy. And the crappie, just look in the back of coves, look in creeks, dip along, cover water. And when you find them, search the area over pretty good. Oh, you bet, Paul. Appreciate it. Yeah, East Texas, man. I appreciate it. You bet, man. You bet. I hope we can get out there soon, Slab, man. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, it's been something I'll elaborate on later, but it's been just harder for me this year to get out there, and herd too, and so we're gonna get out there. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here, you guys, before the storms come in, and I'm trying to get some of these rods rigged up and stuff. And thanks for all the support, and be sure to look out for the videos coming out. Again, if y'all can help with those sand bass videos, they just don't do anything. It would help me out tremendously if you can kind of push those out. If you know someone that likes sand bass fishing, suggest it to them, see if they enjoy it. If you can thumbs it up, that's great. YouTube likes that. And yeah, I'm gonna jump on there and look at your video too, Paul. Oh man, you're good, Paul. You're good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out too. I just noticed that. Lee, so I guide in Texas, in Dallas Fort Worth. I mainly guide on the north and east side of the city. So Grapevine, Louisville, Ray Hubbard, some other lakes thrown in there, Levon, Ray Roberts, things like that. Maybe Joe Pool, if those fish ever decide to bite. But yeah, thanks again, Lee, for that super chat. It really helps me out a ton. So as always, y'all have a good evening. Thanks so much for the support, and we will catch you on the next one. Y'all be safe and have a good evening.